For now, let's take a wider look at the question of how we, as humans, have come to be, and as is relevant to the case of Ali, how our bodily forms have taken shape. We will begin with the bioscientific account of how humans came about, and how they take the form they do, and whether that form is fine-tuned for the environment that they find themselves within. Following this bioscientific exploration, we'll hear perspectives on human origin looked through an Islamic lens. The dominant view within the bioscientific community is that human beings emerged through the process of evolution. We asked Philip Donoghue, professor of paleobiology at the University of Bristol in the UK, to give a succinct summary of what bioscientists mean when they use the term evolution, and what they base their understandings on.
Evolution by natural selection, which I think is most people's kind of conception of evolution, is based on the kind of commonplace observation that populations of organisms like humans exhibit variation. Some can run faster, some can better metabolize food, others can better survive starvation, and those variations can lead to differential survival and reproduction. And that, factored up, can spread those traits through a population and lead to the origins of new species and the demise of others that don't have those traits. Some factors of evolution, some processes of evolution take place over millions or tens of millions of years, but some processes like antibiotic resistance in bacteria is something that we can observe on human timescales.
So I mentioned Charles Darwin's book, On the Origin of Species, which was published in 1859 to a tumultuous reception. We asked Rana Dajani, professor of molecular biology at the Hashemite University in Jordan, to explain the process alluded to in the subtitle of that book, The Theory of Evolution by Natural Selection.
The principle of evolution by natural selection simply says that in a population of organisms, there is diversity among the different members of that population. And that diversity is a result of the different variations of different genes in the genome of every different individual. Now, because this population lives in an environment that is constantly changing, some members of that community will be more fit to survive and produce offspring than others as a result of the interaction with the environment. And because of that, those who have the traits will contribute more to the future generation. And therefore, the new generation will consist of members who have those traits that were more fit for the environment. And because the environment is always changing, those traits will always be changing, and therefore there is no predestined natural selection. It receives and interacts with the environment around it, and there's no perfect or normal or best organism. It will change depending on the conditions of the environment where this population is living. And if you give it enough time, over millions of years, eventually you will have changes that accumulate, and that's how new species come and evolve, and the world changes in a beautiful way going forward.